Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very interesting story. Powerful U.S. attorney who investigated Trump associates refuses to step down after Barr tries to push him out. So this is this is breaking news. This is CNN, the trusted name in news. U.S. attorney who investigated Trump associates refuses to step down. Wow. This is amazing. Luke St. Martin, Eric H526, hello. Washington, in a fast-escalating crisis Friday night, Attorney General William Barr tried to oust Geoffrey Berman, the powerful U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, who has investigated a number of associates of President Donald Trump. But Berman defied him by refusing to step down in an extraordinary statement sent roughly an hour after Barr said the U.S. attorney was to leave the office. Berman said he had learned of his purported exit from a press release. So, quote, I have not resigned and have no intention of resigning my position to which I was appointed by the judges of the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. I will step down when a presidentially appointed nominee is confirmed by the Senate. No, actually, I don't know if that's even accurate. He could get fired by William Barr. Until then, our investigations will move forward without delay or interruption. But William Barr runs the Justice Department, and President Trump runs the executive branch, which is in the DOJ is within the executive branch. So this is absolutely hilarious. So he's not leaving. He's not leaving. William Barr William Barr has a press release. It was really nice knowing you. He's like, I'm not going anywhere. So stay tuned. We don't know if this man's leaving or not. And it's interesting because, I don't know, there are a whole bunch of Democrats who could have been investigated for a whole bunch of things we don't even have to get into right now. The standoff opens up a fresh crisis at the Justice Department, places the leadership of the most prominent federal prosecutor's office outside Washington in a precarious position. So the Southern District of New York is an extension of the Democratic Party. All they do is focus on Trump. They were given, by the way, one of the wonderful prosecutors was given the Clinton Foundation investigation. He's like, we found nothing. We just found nothing. Gee, there's just nothing to find here. We tried, and we couldn't find anything, The standoff opens up a fresh crisis at the Justice Department, places the leadership of the most prominent federal prosecutor's office outside Washington in a precarious position, and again raises the questions about Barr's willingness to steer the department to suit Trump's political agenda. Meanwhile, President Obama had Eric Holder and Attorney General Loretta Lynch, who met with Bill Clinton to speak about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren, and that wasn't for any political agenda. The state prosecutor's rebuttal came about an hour after the Department of Justice announced Trump intends to nominate Jay Clayton, the chairman of the Securities Exchange Commission, who has never been a prosecutor. Well, it's interesting. These career prosecutors only seem to find issues with President Trump's associates, never with the associates of, all the Democrats running New York. Or, Madam Secretary, who has a base of influence in New York. A Justice Department official told CNN that the state prosecutor was offered other positions at Justice, including the head of the Civil Division, where Attorney General Jody Hunt abruptly announced his departure this week. Berman declined. A second source with knowledge of the matter said the prosecutor was asked to resign and refused. Barr asked him to resign in an in-person meeting. So if you're asking someone to resign, the next course of action is simply firing the person. The timing of the move, announced 9 p.m. Eastern, immediately raises questions about the circumstances regarding his departure. It really doesn't matter why this, like, President Obama's administration did what every other administration does, and let's just hear. So, This is Politico, May 15, 2009. Obama to replace U.S. attorneys. So, President Barack Obama plans to replace a batch of U.S. attorneys. So, it's like, It seemed it's interesting. Like, it's interesting when they go ahead and President Obama forced out a great general in Stanley McChrystal because of a Rolling Stone article. It really, when it's Democrats, they can do anything they want. But when it's Trump, it's like, oh my God, this is a little bizarre because this is an appointee from President Trump. So, but again, you don't know. They haven't discussed. So what investigations are going on regarding President Trump? That, I mean, they found nothing. He did not work with Russia. We had the intelligence reports were based on high confidence assessments and a Steele dossier purchased by Clinton. Who will be the nominee? They ain't going with Biden. Now, it will have made the biggest political call of all time. To my super chat, thank you so very much. Any forced ouster of the prosecutor is likely to draw scrutiny inside the U.S. Attorney's Office and among career... Who cares? Among career prosecutors. So what? Let them scrutinize whatever they want to. You work for the government, or you work for the government. You work for a corporation. He has been the U.S. Attorney for Manhattan since 2018. And under his leadership, his office prosecuted Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen. Okay, is investigating top Trump confidant Rudy Giuliani. Why they're investigating Giuliani, I have no clue. And indicted the former New York mayor's associate Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman. Okay, so but they were associates of other people as well. So what does that have to do with Giuliani? Justice Department puts Brooklyn prosecutor atop Ukraine probes. These investigations are purely political. But no investigation about the $1 billion withheld from Ukraine in an overt quid pro quo. No investigations regarding that. This is one thing this man was. The Justice Department has assigned top prosecutor in Brooklyn to coordinate Ukraine-related investigations. What? Ukraine-related investigations? This was the impeachment nonsense. The move potentially gives Attorney General William Barr a way to keep a tighter rein on investigations that could be politically sensitive. So it's interesting. Manhattan U.S. Attorney, this is the guy that Barr wants out, is investigating Rudy Giuliani, the president's personal lawyer. For what? Along with associates who played a key role in his efforts to dig up political dirt on Joe Biden. So you're investigating Giuliani only because he was investigating Biden? This is how it works? But you don't investigate the Clinton Foundation when there's an obvious, continual transfer of money and beneficial treatment given to the people who transfer the money who donate into the Clinton Foundation. How does that work? But Justice Department officials in Washington have chafed at the way the Manhattan prosecutors have revealed politically sensitive developments in high-profile cases associated with Donald Trump. Why are they investigating Rudy Giuliani? What did he do wrong? So they're investigating Giuliani because he went to Ukraine to see if Biden broke the law? Is that how it works? This is hilarious. This is hilarious. Last fall, Justice Department officials discussed replacing this prosecutor with Ed O'Callaghan, a senior official, but then prosecutors indicted Giuliani associates, a move that appeared to extend the prosecutor's tenure. So it's kind of interesting because thank you, Cosmic Grandpa, thank you. So Lev Parnas, this guy, he was at a fundraiser. Wait, no, hold on. Oh, so they get them on campaign finance violations. How many campaign finance violations do you think? Oh, I don't know. You could just I can name about 5 Democrats right now. And very progressive ones too. There were campaign finance allegations against AOC. No investigation there. So 2 donors, so two people who knew Rudy Giuliani were investigated on, or they were charged with campaign finance violations. Okay, so elections to influence U.S. politics on behalf of at least one unnamed Ukrainian politician. Okay. So I want to know so there's no legal statute regarding Biden, the former vice president, withholding $1 billion in loan guarantees. I want to know who gave the former vice president that authority. Is that legal? Or is it against the law to do that? Nobody has ever really explained the legality of withholding $1 billion in loan guarantees until an official of another country is forced out. So and it's like and so you have information, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you have like investigations that only go one way. You have New York prosecutors. So one New York prosecutor, so Clinton Foundation. So Huber finds nothing. That was like a hilarious, sad little moment in time. But there was another one. What's his name? 2016. Hold on. There was one prosecutor. Clinton Foundation investigation. This is a National Review. Being run from Brooklyn. So when they're investigating, so it's interesting when they're investigating Democrats. The Justice Department is conducting this probe in a very Clinton-friendly district. So they have prosecutors investigating at one point the Clinton Foundation. They found absolutely nothing. Isn't that interesting? But you better believe anyone associated with Giuliani's going to get charged. Do you understand? I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's just, what's interesting? They investigate Democrats, but they don't find anything because Democrats never break the law. But Giuliani didn't, Trump didn't, but everyone around them did. I do agree, however, if you're funneling money just to influence, if you're funneling money, you're breaking election laws, fine. To influence an election on behalf of a very wealthy individual in another country, okay. If you're breaking the law, yeah, you can't do that. No, so I agree with, I have no problem with that. What I have a problem with is you're pretending to be impartial, but you're only going after, thank you, Cyan, hello. You're only going after one side. That's it. So you have the New York, this is, why is the Clinton Foundation investigation being run from Brooklyn? This is a National Review article by Andrew C. McCarthy. On Tuesday, Wall Street Journal's Devlin Barrett published another eye-opening report about the FBI's Clinton Foundation investigation. By the way, we know now that all of this was a complete charade. You know who the FBI was being run? You're talking about James Comey, Andrew McCabe, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Klein Smith, all of them at the Bureau. So you're talking about an investigation that apparently found nothing. You know who was also under FBI investigation? Terry McAuliffe. Also for campaign finance issues. Isn't that interesting how they never find anything? Gosh, it's almost as if they're investigating to create the create the belief that they're fair and impartial, and all the while just without any intent of actually getting to the truth, because it's Democrats. Because we're talking about Democrats here. So I mean, it's really unbelievable. You talk about politics. You can look at look at Tammany Hall. Look at the history of our country. It's still the same thing. We're going to see when Clinton becomes nominee, it will be because we have a political machine called the Democratic Party. It's still a political machine. It is still a political machine. It is still a political machine. This is what people don't understand, or I guess don't care. You better believe. And the interesting thing is, they found nothing when it was Madam Secretary. They found nothing. They find nothing when it's Democrats accused of campaign finance violations. AOC's in New York. Nobody's investigated any allegations of there were campaign finance. There were former FEC, Federal Election Commission chiefs who said, yeah, you know what? There's something fishy about what's going on there. No investigation at all. But they definitely go after you if you're in any way linked to Giuliani or President Trump. So it's really interesting. It's really, really interesting. It's very bizarre. I'm sure that there's a reason for this. I'm sure that the Clinton Foundation never committed a crime. I'm sure that that everything was above board. I am 100% confident that, I trust James Comey and Andrew McCabe and Peter Strzok and Lisa Page and Kevin Kleinsmith and all of these people who had anti-Trump text messages and who literally said, we'll stop Trump, and who literally were basically mourning the Clinton loss in 2016. I trust that they did everything they could to investigate any possible wrongdoing, and they just found nothing. And of course, the district prosecutors of the Southern District, they just found nothing with Madam Secretary's foundation because there was nothing there to see. Everything was just a coincidence because, correlation does not equal causation, except with Trump. If something happens at the edge of the galaxy, it's Trump's fault. You better believe that. You better believe that. That's why ladies and gentlemen, that's why that they're not going with Biden. They're going with Madam Secretary. The political... when the United States elects, when President Trump wins re-election, and the people speak yet again, 2 presidential elections in a row, you better believe they're not going to go with, they're not going to just go with Biden when you have all of these, when you have everything at stake, you have the future of your political party at stake. Because I don't think people understand November 3rd. I really don't think people get, no, I don't even know if I understand November 3rd. I don't even know if I understand the ramifications. But I can tell you the biggest story of every day is November 3rd. The political and legal future of the entire Democratic Party, everyone associated with the Democratic Party, I should say the future of a machine rests upon what happens in November. And they're not going to go with Biden when they only lost by 77,000 votes in 2016 and Russia stole the election from them. Because we found out that Bernie Sanders was cheated, which he wasn't cheated, but we found out he was. It's so complicated. Ruby's 200, he could. The only chance that Trump has the only chance Democrats have is with Clinton. I'm not a fan. Although I really don't dislike Bill or Hillary. I don't at all. People think that I do, but I don't. I really don't. In fact, I voted for Bill Clinton twice. And President Obama twice. I was a lifelong Democrat. So, but I can tell you that there are probably 100 reasons I could list that I would never in a million years vote for Madam Secretary. Nonetheless, she's the only chance that Democrats have. They're not going to go with Biden. Because you have every prosecutor in the Southern District. You better believe. How many people do you think in the Southern District of New York go to work with a Make America Great Again hat? How about none of them? How many do you think are even Bernie Sanders supporters? Not many. Very few, if any. The machine, okay, you're talking about a political machine. It's a political machine. That's it. None your business! H.A. Goodman, hello, none your business! I hope all is well. Have a wonderful weekend, a safe weekend, a happy weekend. None your business. Thank you so very much. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Thank you. I just always remember I was like, None your business! And then it was none your business. Hello, none your business. Hello. Thank you as always. Thank you as always. Greatly appreciated. But you're talking about a legal, political, corporate machine. They're going with they're going with Brady. Brady is Clinton. They're not going to go with, the junior college transfer that runs the scout team. They're going to go with Brady. Okay? If you're a football coach and they're videotaping your practices, you can only go so long with the charade that you're not going to play your best quarterback. You can only go, when Madam Secretary becomes nominee, it will be the biggest political call of all time. Watch this channel, H.A. Goodman's other channel, H.A. Goodman's cooking channel, H.A. Goodman's fishing and hunting and survival channel. But seriously, H.A. Goodman's other channel, watch that. It's over 15,000 subs. I have a great segment up on there. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, the future, on November 3rd, the country will either decide to give Clapper, Brennan, Comey, Strzok, McCabe, Hollywood, De Niro, all the Hollywood producers, actors that haven't been relevant in a long time, but, a late night talk show, it's either President Trump or every person who said, "Oh, I'm never speaking to you again because you're voting for Trump," but they're okay with Bush. This is a cataclysmic, monumental, epic, almost, dare I say, biblical confrontation between two political sides. So, it's kind of like, you look, ladies and gentlemen, none of your business, thank you. You look, and it's like, what are they going to do? I always spend time on this, and I think that people just humor me because they're like, okay, here he goes again with the November 3rd. What are they going to do? I'm talking about, there are really wonderful political channels. Oh, they're so great and so wonderful. With 800,000 subs or 4 million subs. Every single day it was Trump worked with Russia. He withheld military assistance. Everything's, Trump is horrible. And he wins again. And he wins again on November 3rd. Hollywood, the corrupt intel chiefs, the Democratic machine, like the Tammany Hall, basically. Every disgruntled, angry, frustrated, apoplectic, seething, fuming, hysterical Democrat that doesn't speak to people anymore because they're Trump supporters. April! Hey, you. Hello, April. April, hope all is well. Thank you, April. None of your business. Thank you again. April, thank you. You have one person, President Trump. You really have one person because you can't rely on the people like Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney and Marco Rubio, and you can't rely on Republicans because Republicans don't like, establishment Republicans don't like Trump. That's why they barely exist now. They exist only because they're the only choice in whatever state they're in. But on a national level, they don't exist. The Mitt Romney Republican, the good Republican, the George W. Bush Republican, the one who gets us into endless counterinsurgency conflicts, that good Republican, that person doesn't exist on a national scale. That's why when you have all these organizations of former Republicans trying to take on Trump, it's kind of hilarious. Anthony, hello. I will though on election night, November 3rd. I might go like 5 hours straight, or you're gonna see me saying, okay, just gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I'll come back. Or I think I do 3 hours or so, but you have on November 3rd, and this is what this is all about. You can't expect the political influence of media, intelligence officials, Hollywood, social media. You can't expect that entire machine, that public relations machine, to wield the same influence they did prior to losing on November 3rd. Also, they're in a world of trouble and they don't see it. They're not going to get the, thank you, April, thank you. They're not going to get the turnout. So I know exactly their game plan. They want to peak towards the end. I know exactly what they're going to do. Cyan, hello. Look, fat. I know exactly what they're going to do. They want to peak towards the end. They want to peak towards the end. And they're not really going to lay their cards on the table until August. But think about it. You have August, September, October, then it's game time. So they only need to go 2 months of trying to show the country there are two choices. Madam Secretary, who should have been president, you might not like her personality, but at least she could be the first female president, and there's a female vice president, and Biden slid into second base. And so, there's a new ACL that he needs. And so, God bless him. At least we have, it was difficult, but he was winning and he was doing really well. Yeah. Oh, God, he was doing so well. And so we have the momentum, everyone. And it's going to be like, if you don't vote for Hillary, it will be an apocalyptic moment for the Democratic Party. And I'm just going to enjoy every second. I'm going to enjoy every second. Because they can't hate on me because I want her to run. See, this is the difference. Am I saying any this is why I'm like impervious. Did I say anything bad? I literally want Madam Secretary to run. She's fantastic. Why they wouldn't go with a supremely qualified candidate, obviously they will. But what's the problem? Why are you so terrified, Democrats? Why are you so horrified? What's the problem? Because I remember when I was writing in the Huffington Post, the Hill and Salon, it was a big, big issue. I was, the spawn of Satan. Yeah, big problem. Big problem, big problem, big problem. So now I said, hey, listen, maybe they're right. I mean, I'm just going to vote for President Trump, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe Madam Secretary is supremely qualified, and I didn't see that. So now I am urging them to make the right decision. And I know they will. And when Madam Secretary becomes nominee, it will be the biggest political call of all time. And I'm going, and you're going to see all the Never Biden people. I know, I'm watching you. I know who all you, and I don't, you know what? I won't even bring them up. I'll just, in the data bank, whatever's left of it, in my Apple IIe brain, and all the Never Biden people are just going to be suddenly Hillary bots. Yeah. So, it's going to be interesting, folks. It's going to be fantastic. I might on H.A. Goodman's other channel. I might do that. Might be some naming of names on H.A. Goodman's other channel, but Mr. Mandela, hello. Exactly. Michael, exactly. This is the Ain't No Future in Your Frontin'. This is the MC Breed election. Love MC Breed, one of the great rappers of all time, definitely of the 90s. This is the MC Breed election. Ain't No Future in Your Frontin'. And the Democrats have their new song, their new single, The Only Future We Have Is Frontin'. And frontin' is our only future. if you weren't, in your 20s in the 1990s, that wouldn't be funny. I don't know. Panzer Esquire! Replace Biden with a pet rock, and he has Pet rock. Pet rock would be more eloquent. Exactly. Never was, cuz. The interesting thing is, one thing that you should do, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Panzer Esquire. Thank you. None of your business. Thank you. April, thank you. Don't take it seriously. Cajun Man! Cajun Man Dick, hello! Cajun Man, how's it going? Thank you. Thank you, Cajun Man, thank you. Cajun Man, thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you, Cajun Man, thank you. Hope all is well. Everyone stay safe. And look, Cajun Man, everyone here, just count down to November 3rd. How many days? Let's see. How many days till November 3rd? Cajun Man, everybody here, how many days till November 3rd? If anybody wants to go ahead and help me out, that'd be great. How many days until November 3rd? Let's do this. Come on now. Yeah! 137 days. Yes. Wait, July, August, September, October. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. We have 137 days before the end of Late Night Talk Show. I just want to let you know something. Click. Can I get it? Can I be entertained? Is that basically like there's no entertainment anymore? There is no entertainment. I don't even watch late night, but there's just no entertainment anymore. If you're an entertainer, suddenly you have to be something you're not, and it's like, April Christmas! April, hello! April, thank you! Anthony, I will. Let me try. So 137 days, people. 137 days. 137 days. The only ad that Biden has that you can actually understand him is when he's asking for money, and they still put the subtitles. I mean, we all speak English. What's the problem? I mean, if you want a different language, you can. If you want also, this is great. This is great. I can't even hear it, but I'm looking at the video. This is fantastic. Okay, so James, much love from Southampton, England. Thank you so very much, James. James, I have a very strong UK and Australian base of support, and I'm so proud and happy. And I'm very happy and appreciative. James Gray, thank you very much from Southampton, England. Thank you so very much, James, for watching. James, it's going down. I want everyone in every other country to, when you're watching this, just watch with such happiness on November 3rd. Because it's going down, everyone. We have 137 days. I'm going to do a countdown. That's it. Every single day I'm doing a countdown. Pete Solano, James from Southampton, England. Thank you so very much, James Gray. Thank you. Have a fantastic weekend, James. Pete Solano! Thank you, Pete, as always. This is the Ain't No Future in Your Frontin' election, ladies and gentlemen. See, everybody knows where I stand. When I was representing for Bernie Sanders, I really represented. But why did I represent for somebody who doesn't even represent for himself? That's bad. I should have represented for Trump. If I could go back in time, I would have represented all those 100 articles I would have written about Trump. Because he signed a peace deal to get us out of America's longest-running military conflict. Pete Solano, James, thank you so very much. Bernie is a bigger disappointment than you could ever imagine on many levels. Oh, whatever. It is what it is. Thank God I'm no longer on the left. Thank the Lord. Oh my God, is it so dysfunctional and unhealthy. Also, thank God I'm not on social media. Pete Solano! Pete, thank you! Pete, it's only a matter of time. Biden is going to hand the keys to the castle to Madam Secretary. He's going to hand the keys to the castle to Madam Secretary. And Pete Solano, be here November 3rd. Because it ain't going to be Biden versus Trump. It's going to be Madam Secretary Hillary Clinton versus Trump. She's a fantastic human being. Clinton is a wonderful, fantastic human being. A really beautiful soul. And, no. But if they went with Biden, they wouldn't even get... Not only would they lose the Electoral College, they would lose the popular vote, too. So it's just a matter of time, Pete Solano, before the wonderful and beautiful and brilliant Madam Secretary becomes nominee. Everybody, I'm going to call it a little bit early. God bless you all. Stay safe. Pete Solano, James, everyone here, have a wonderful, wonderful, safe weekend. Happy weekend. I'll be back tomorrow morning to talk about whether this New York prosecutor decided to leave or not. He's like, I'm staying. You can't kick me out. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow will be 136 days until the most euphoric moment in one of the most euphoric moments in U.S. history. Give me your thoughts below. Thanks, Pete. Everybody here, James. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Have a great evening.